So, watching the video that you just did, and wow, um, you are falling into the exact same traps that every other creationist falls into. First off, we call him the Invisible Sky Daddy, but we do that as kind of a way to make fun of you guys. And let's just be honest with that. That's really why we use that term. But you're right. With all of the things, air, microorganisms, we have evidence. We have microscopes, and we have all of these things that we can actually use to prove the existence of these things. Your strongest evidence is look around you. Please. It's such a joke. When we can actually go and we know that the majority of the things that we can look around us and see, we know where they came from. Okay, when we know that the DNA of trees and the DNA that we have 40% of the same DNA as trees, we know that the evolutionary process takes us back to an original single-celled organism that was the granddaddy of all single-celled organisms. Okay, that out of the single-celled organisms, everything on the planet came into existence. That doesn't prove God. In fact, it's working towards disproving God. So this whole look around you, see, if you look, look at the trees, look at the sky, look at the creation. Man, you got nothing. You got nothing. That proves nothing. Seriously. I mean, your whole best argument is see the trees, see how perfectly they're designed. I honestly pity you. You're so arrogant. The thing is that with atheists, I'm not going to say we're not arrogant, but the difference is that we are willing to change. If you can prove it, we're willing to believe it. The whole look around you argument has been debunked 1,000 times over, and that's your strongest argument. It's pathetic. Seriously. Now, if you really think that you've got something here, then take it into a laboratory. Let's test it. Not that hard. Okay, I'll even go one further. James Randi's got $1 million for you if you could prove creation. But you can't, because the strongest evidence is a book. A book. That one you got, called a Quran, depending on who you're talking to, and all the different other variations in the text. That was written by Muhammad and all of his people. Oh, no, that's right. It was dictated to Muhammad by an angel. Or am I hearing the story wrong? Because you know what? The problem is that to disprove your religion, all I have to do is disprove Christianity. And to disprove Christianity, all I have to do is disprove Judaism. And honestly, those aren't that hard. Because here's a funny thing. In your faith, Jesus is a prophet. Well, what if Jesus never existed? Then your faith has a hole in it. Sorry to tell you. But the more and more that I've dug into religion, the more and more I know how wrong and how backwards it is. Look around you. There's the evidence of God. It doesn't work that way. When we can actually follow through DNA the evolutionary path of trees and plants and animals and us, God becomes less relevant. Sorry to tell you. Your whole contention is, is ridiculous. If we had a microscope that can get into the details, and in those little details find God, I'd be the first to go, great, then God exists. But you don't have it. Now, that doesn't mean that someday, somewhere, some scientist isn't going to invent a thing that's not going to be able to create, a machine that gets so deep in the details that he finds God. But all our best evidence right now shows there is no God. So, unless you got something better than look around you, you lose.